resources, how you can actualize the resources, and how you can now make profit out of that resources. That is what is known as harvesting. So we call this the 5 steps of entrepreneurial process. So I think those people who had those questions after this class, they are going to at least understand it much better. So the first step in the entrepreneurial process is discovery. When we talk of discovery, what happens at this stage? At this stage, the entrepreneur generates ideas, recognizes opportunities, and studies the market. So now, what is it that you can consider to generate an idea, to recognize an opportunity before studying the market? The first thing is hobbies and skills. What will make an entrepreneur to identify an opportunity is from your hobby. At times, God have some innate abilities that they give in you, or they bestow in you, that you have that strong desire. You find pleasure and joy doing those particular things as an entrepreneur. You find pleasure, you have innate skills, which means when you're doing things and it happens that you find yourself in doing that particular thing, it is what you love doing best. You don't know where the skills are coming from, but they are in you. It's like a talent. So when you identify this kind of talents, that is already an entrepreneurial opportunity that you need to harvest. So when you discover that, let's take for instance, there are some people that they just love dancing, or they just love cooking. For instance, let me bring that example. They just love cooking. Cooking to them is their hobby. They can spend their whole lot of time in the kitchen, cooking from one place to another, cooking one dish, which means when they hear anything concerning cookery, it's their best time. When it concerns combining spices, it's their best time. So you discover that these people, because of their hobbies, they gain skills over time in cookery. And now this is an opportunity that if they recognize, they can turn it into food business, either restaurant, either catering service, and the rest. They can make a lot of money out of it. So one thing as an entrepreneur to identify is an opportunity is when you see what is it that you love doing best? What is it that you find easy? What is it that if they get you up to do, you can do it without complaining? That's passion. What are you so passionate about in life? Because the more you're passionate about something, it becomes your hobby. So what are you in the discovery stage of entrepreneurship? What is it that you are so passionate about that you can do at any time without complaining? So when you identify that particular thing, it becomes your hobby. It becomes your hobby, and now you identify it's an opportunity. And then the next question is you start asking yourself, what can you get out of this your hobby? A lot of people, they will move up and down, maybe like those who sing. They move around singing from one place to another, and they don't know that that particular skill, they can get money out of it. Now we have some people who just move around and entertain people during funerals. Do you know that that is an entrepreneurial strategy? Those are functions that were being performed by people in the past for free in the villages, in the rural areas. But today you discover these services are being paid for. They animate during cry die, during mourning ceremonies and the rest. And it entertains people and they make money out of it. That is the meaning of entrepreneurship, which means you have a hobby, you have a skill, you have a passion about a particular thing, aspect in life. And because of that, you identify that as an opportunity. And then now you make a market study. Market study is, can somebody buy this, my particular thing I'm selling? Can somebody buy this, my talent? Can somebody buy this, my idea? Can somebody buy this, my service? Can somebody buy what I'm producing? That is the meaning of market study. When you make market, you make maybe your research. If somebody wants to buy, how many people are ready to buy? How frequent can these people buy? How much will these people be willing to pay for this, my service, for this, my talent, for this, my skill? And before you know it, you set up an entrepreneurial opportunity. Okay, another thing to consider is consumers' needs and wants. So you to identify an opportunity, you need to look at consumers' needs and wants. We are in a community where you sit, you look, what is it that these people need in this particular community, in this particular area, that is a necessity that if I provide, these people will happily find it as a solution to their worry. Because there are some communities like where water is scarce. When you reach there, you see that if you come in with something like rice system, people will always likely need it. So immediately, immediately as you identify this particular thing in this particular community, it's going to push people so that they can come in to purchase that particular opportunity. 1 minute, please.
Mr. Ajume, please, I think, please just try to maximize the screen so that it's going to be preferable. That's under slideshow, right? So you just go to slideshow and slideshow. At the top menu, we have home, insert, design, animation, slideshow. Yeah, that's it. Just click on it and then you go to from current slides. Yeah. I think it's really having an issue with your screen. I don't know. Please, how did you share? Did you share a particular screen or you share your entire screen? I think that should be the problem. Just stop sharing and then share. You can share just this slide. I think it would be more preferable. You just stop sharing, then you share just this slide. Yeah, when you click on share, then you look for the window, just your slide. I think it's going to be preferable that way. Okay, now take from that current slide, let's see. Yeah, let's see if it's good. Just 1 minute.
Is it okay now? Can you guys see me well?
No, it's not. I mean, there should be anyway. Just continue. It seems there should be a problem with your PowerPoint.
My settings. Okay, but can we manage this one?
It's okay.
Okay. Okay. Sorry for that interruption, guys. We were on the second point, that's consumer needs and wants. So I was saying that you can identify an opportunity by observing the needs and wants of consumers in your particular locality or of a particular product. There are some products that are in the market, but these products, they are maybe limited in supply, and you discover that people need more of this particular product. That is their want. There are some products that are not even available, but you discover that people are rushing more to a substitute, doing everything possible to have something closer to that, and you have an idea on how you can introduce that particular product in the market. At times, there is the absence of a particular product totally, and you identify a particular problem in that community, which people really can buy your idea, but now it is not available. So as an entrepreneur, you need to struggle at as much as possible to identify what is it that these people in this community can need. For example, if you are in a community where we have maybe a primary school and a lot of people are putting to bed, and you identify that children in that community, they don't go into, they don't attend nursery education, and there is no nursery school, they just leave home and they just dive into class 1 or primary education. It is your responsibility now as an entrepreneur to identify that particular thing as an opportunity and see how, if you insert that particular aspect about education, that's a nursery education, people will come in for it. The moment you identify that there are many primary schools in a particular locality, but there's no secondary school, it's an opportunity for you to ask, where do these people leave primary school and go to? Do they go to maybe other towns, other villages for secondary education? It's your opportunity now to put a secondary education center around for people leaving primary school, because it is a need in that particular community. It is a want. These people need education. So that is how to identify an opportunity. There are some communities where people even pay transport to go and buy water from other towns, and there is water available. It is your opportunity as an entrepreneur. How can you come up with a system that you can supply clean and pure water? Can you come up with a system that can generate forage? Can you make a well and start selling water? Those kind of things. Or even can you look for a bigger car that you can even transport water in large quantities from neighboring towns and treat and sell? That is the meaning of entrepreneurial opportunity. You identify consumers' needs and wants. What is it in that community that people need? Is it health? If it is health, if you come up with a health center, can people go in for it? If you come up with a lab, can people go in for it? If it's education, if you come up with primary school, nursery school, higher education, secondary school, will people go in for it? If the problem maybe is the type of food that they eat, maybe the people like in the villages, there are some villages that people even trek for kilometers or move out of town to go and maybe grind corn, maize that we know. Is it the problem? In some places, they produce food and they cannot even sell it because they don't know where to sell it. So it's your ability as an entrepreneur to identify this opportunity and see how you can put resources together to manage this. Then we have conduct a survey and questionnaire. At times, there might be an opportunity, but you cannot identify it. So now you can still, as an entrepreneur, be in an environment and you don't even know the needs of the people. You can identify the needs into social, economic, and this. You come up with a questionnaire and you send out. What is it that is too important for you people? If the government asks today that what do you people want from the government? Free, or an NGO comes in town that they want something to give you people. What will you people request from the NGO, from the government? Through that questionnaire, you will discover the problem of people in that community that they feel that a higher authority can give it to them. Something that they want somebody to do it for them and they don't have. Just a questionnaire given in a particular community where water is their problem, you identify, everybody will just be saying water, 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 water. At the end of analysis of your questionnaire, you will discover that major problem in that community is water. And in case you are lobbying for a project or you want to come up with an enterprise, you can think of maybe water transformation in that particular community, how you can get water in that community. Before you know it, it becomes a company. So we have study demography, study demographics. Yeah, this one now, it comes with more of natural resources. Topography plays a greater role. The way of life of the people plays a greater role. You need to study the demography of your area. We have even the age segmentation also plays a greater role. It's more of natural factors. What is the nature of the population? Is it female, male? What is the nature of the topography? Is it too hilly? Is it too slippery? What are the challenges that this topography is bringing? Then with these things, you identify those needs which are associated maybe to the topography, those needs which are associated to the climate of the particular area, those needs which are associated maybe with the way of life, the culture of that particular place, and you identify these particular necessities as opportunities, and then you see how many people will be willing to get these particular necessities, and what price will these people be willing to sacrifice to get things being done. So with this, you discover that the entrepreneurial process at the discovery stage, you have lots and lots of opportunities that you can exploit. So as an entrepreneur, you don't need to sleep. Everywhere you move to, you need to think of the opportunity that you can exploit. The moment you see an opportunity that you can exploit, you don't need to waste time. You just need to identify the market opportunity, and then you make market studies and see how many people can be ready to pay for that particular thing. And when you identify those people who are willing to pay for it, that is when you sacrifice and now you launch your market. Okay. The second slide, we have concept development. Concept development. Now we are looking at entrepreneurship from a professional perspective. So when you identify an opportunity, that opportunity can only be looked upon as a business idea whenever it can accommodate a business plan. Yes, because when you look around, you will discover lots and lots of opportunity. But a business plan is what is going to help guide you so that your idea can be looked upon as a business, can be looked upon as an income generating activity, can be looked upon as something that people will really know. So a business plan is something that will really help guide you so that you can launch your opportunity as a business. So the first thing is entrepreneurs, they need the following steps. That's develop a business plan. So the business plan now is you start by what? A detailed proposal describing the business idea. Oh, let me start. What is even a business plan? That's another issue that we're keeping aside. What is a business plan? So a business plan is simply a step-by-step analysis of a business idea, explaining every stage on how the business looks like, how the business will be executed, where the funding of the business will come from, the marketing strategy of the business, and how the delivery strategy of the business will look like. And it gives a business plan always take into consideration a budget which has an ending expectation. So you use your business plan to set your goals, with saying that as you're getting into this business idea, by the end of 2 months, by the end of 1 year, this is where you need to arrive. So with a business plan, the first thing in a business plan is a project description or the business idea. The business idea, what idea do you have? In that idea, what is the problem you are struggling to solve in the community? You put it under the description of your business plan. Secondly, choose a location for the business. This problem, where is this problem going to, are the people facing this particular problem, and where are you going to execute it? Is a business
Mr.
online?
Sorry for the interruption. I don't know if you're sharing the right screen. Please just click on that resume slideshow. Something is popping up. Resume slideshow. Let's see, because what you're presenting is not on the screen. Can you just click on that resume slideshow? I'm sure we'll be able to see.
Let me just
there is a pop-up. There is a pop-up at your screen. I'm seeing resume slideshow. I don't know if
and I'm not having it here.
You're still on the 16th slide, concept development. Discovery.
No, I'm already on concept development. That's step 2. Can you see it? Step 2,
No,
concept
you
development.
cannot. No. What you're sharing is discovery.
Please let me just stop again and do it the first way I was just doing it. It's like my screen has a problem. Let me just do it using the word so that at least even if it's not visible, it can just be small like that.
But just stop sharing and then you share again. Don't do any other settings. I think it's going to be fine.
Okay.
Okay, just click on the next slide. Let's see. Yeah, it's okay. Each time you want, yes. It's not
okay,
working.
like
You can just continue. You can just continue. Even your slideshow is not working.
Okay. But this one is okay, right?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. So this is where I was explaining. So I was on choose location for the business. Is the business online or does it have a physical location for customers to visit to purchase product or services or combination? Then the third one is decide if the idea will need a trademark or a patent right, etc. So when you at the concept development, the business plan at the level of introduction, you need to choose the location. The location is where that particular challenge is being faced. The boundaries of that business, will it be online? Will it be on-site? What are the limits of this business? Because you are funding, you cannot take a business and you assume to take over a whole territory, maybe a country, because if you assume that you are taking the whole country, it means you will need resources that will go all over the whole country. So you need to understand the quantity of resources that you have, and then you define your demarcations on how your business will be. That is what we call the business location. Then now decide if the idea will need a patent right or a trademark. This one now is to protect your business. Every business idea that you comes up, you need something to protect it, to avoid copyright, because there are some concepts that are very, very difficult to develop them. But the moment you develop them, it's very easy for somebody to copy it, to do copy work, because people will find it easy because they will identify your strategy. So as an entrepreneur, there are some ideas that when you come up, you need a trademark and you need a patent right to avoid duplication. So at this stage too, you need to analyze the duplication and protect your business from all forms of challenges. Then the third one is step 3, resourcing. Resourcing. So resourcing now is talking about how are you going to generate resources to manage your startup, or to
please
get
click on the
started.
slide. Please click on the slide. It's not showing.
Okay. Is it okay now?
I think this is fine. This is perfect. It's perfect right now.
Okay. Okay, step 3, resourcing. So resourcing is all about how are you going to generate the necessary resources so that you can kickstart with your entrepreneurial venture. That is, how are you, what do you really need? Because the moment you have an idea and you come up with your business plan, at this stage of your business plan, you are struggling to explain how are you going to generate the resources that you are needed. First thing, we know the factors of production that you need: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is already the idea that you have. You are already the entrepreneur. Now we are looking at capital and other resources. Do you need land? If you need land, land here implies fixed factors of production. What are the fixed factors of production that you need for this particular venture? What are the necessary human resources that you need for this particular venture? We call all these things are the resources that you need. And now, what is the financial need of this particular venture? So now, as an entrepreneur, you need to contemplate on the following. You need to identify your potential investors too, in terms of financial. Who are those people who can help you with this idea? Can you easily have a bank loan? Can you easily have a financial grant or assistance? Can you write this as a project? Can you hire employees? Can you call friends to come and work with you? Can you solicit for funding from your family ones? What are the necessary resources that you need? So in this step 3, it's all about what you need to get your venture moving. And the moment you are able to identify these things now, that is when your entrepreneurial venture can take the next step higher. So
I think you're doing fine. You'll have just press on next.
okay, then we have actualization. So is it okay like this, or I should?
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Actualization. So we say at this stage, the entrepreneur operates the business and utilizes the resources to achieve its goal and objective. So at this actualization, you have already put the introduction of your business plan. You have already mobilized the resources which are needed for your business plan. So how can you kickstart your entrepreneurial objective? Now is what we call management. That's where the function of a manager comes in. So as an entrepreneur, you need to have managerial skills. Management means organizing the various resources, your business idea to kickstart your entrepreneurial venture. Which one comes first? What is the first step to take? That is the functions and responsibility of manager. And as an entrepreneur, automatically you have that managerial abilities where you need to know which resources come first, what comes next, the necessary steps that you need to take with your entrepreneurial venture before it becomes a success. So entrepreneurs prepare for the following: the grand opening of the business and day-to-day running of that business. How will the grand opening look like? Do you need to invite people from all over? Do you need to mobilize the resources? Do you need to buy but in bulk? Do you need to buy but in bits? These are decisions which are taken at this particular moment of actualization. How will the day-to-day running of the business look like? How are we going to manage this particular business from day to day? So that is it at this particular stage. Then 5, now we talk about harvesting. Harvesting now is talking about you making gains out of this profit. So it says at this stage, which the entrepreneur decides on venture future growth, development, or demise. So which means harvesting, now you started reaping something out of this business, and now you decide as an entrepreneur, do I want to increase the strength of my business, the capacity of my business? Do I need to extend it to other places, to other branches? What is the future development of my business? Do I need expansion? Do I need to add the quantity produced? Do I need to increase the production capacity so that it should leave from 1 ton to 2 tons to 3 tons to 10 tons to 20 tons in the next 10 years? In case of maybe lack of raw materials, in case of maybe failure, in case of maybe accidents, in case of some uncalculated risks, in case they come up, how do I manage it? That's where you start thinking about insurance. That's where you start thinking about hedging. That's how you start thinking about making provisions in case of any challenge that comes your way. That is what you discuss at the stage of harvesting. So harvesting is not when you start producing and you start wasting the money up and down because your business is producing. Harvesting is where you start thinking about the future of the business, the future growth of the business, the future expansion of the business, and how you can hedge your business against risks. So entrepreneurs must consider the following when they are preparing their business plan: future business plans for the business, expansion to additional locations, and company to change the structure. So now part 2 here, we are going to be looking at starting a business. Starting a business. So now we were talking about you sitting in your room and using your pen to write your business plan. At that stage, you are just struggling to write your business plan. After writing your business plan now, all those things, they are more of theory. You are putting in your business where you will get your loan, where you will get your assistance, where your business will look like in 10 years and the rest. But now we are coming to part 2, which is a reality, starting your business. You have seen an idea in a community. What is the next thing that you need to do? Understand the procedure and requirements for starting a business. If you are in Cameroon and you want to start a school, you don't just need to just see a house somewhere, you pay rent, you look for teachers, and you just go and open a school. There is a procedure. There are standard procedures and policies to be followed before you start that particular, maybe that's running that school. So as an entrepreneur, you need to now be thinking of what are the legal requirements that are needed for you to get into that particular venture. What are the legal requirements which are needed? What are the documents that I need so that I can launch my entrepreneurial venture? What are those things which are necessary that I should put together to start an entrepreneurial venture? So in Cameroon, we have types of businesses. We have private limited company. We have we have a private limited company. We have a public limited company. We have cooperatives. We have common initiative groups. We have lots and lots of types of businesses. So at this stage of part 2, you need to start thinking, what is the legal structure of your business? What can you really do to obtain these particular documents? What are the legal requirements for me to start my business? Which office do I need to contact? What are the documents I need to certify? I've come up with my business plan. What are the requirements? Maybe this business, who is going to be my manager? Who will be my manager? What are the requirements for somebody who wants to manage this business? They might say, for you to start maybe like a microfinance institution, you need somebody who have at least a master's degree in business administration. So now you need to look for somebody who has master's degree in business administration. They will say somebody who has at least this length of experience. So you need also to look for somebody who has that experience and who is ready to manage a startup. Having a degree and having that experience doesn't mean you can manage a startup. A startup needs somebody who has an entrepreneurial idea, who will take the lead, take the challenge before he can run that particular startup. So as an entrepreneur at this stage, you are struggling to bring the various required resources, especially the human capital, and looking at how this human capital meet the legal requirements of that particular place where you are running. Then next, you need to submit these documents to the required office for them to start processing. For some people, they will demand a fee before you are granted a license. So now you need to see how you can make the necessary payments so that this license can be granted. When these licenses are now being processed now or granted, you need now to submit them to the various maybe competent authorities for validation and control. And that at that stage, that is where you can kickstart your entrepreneurial venture. So in our master's class, we are going to look at the types of, or in our advanced course, that's where we are going to look at the type of businesses. So now we are still looking at starting a business. So we are still looking at one, developing a business plan, acquiring finance, and meeting the legal requirements. This is still just like a summary of what we have been discussing. So Guys, I'm sorry, we are going to end here for our class today. There's another class, digital marketing class, that will be starting exactly at a few minutes from now. I wish to find out if there's any question, please. So do we have any question, please? Hello, are we together? You can unmute your mics now, please.
Yeah, we're together. I'm getting you 5 on 5.
Yes, do we have any question, please?
Yeah, for me here, I just wish to congratulate the broad elaboration of the issue. Though I started late, but just wish to say thank you, and our Almighty God keep giving the strength and the knowledge so that you can give us the requirement that we need in order to function well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very, very much, brother. I greatly appreciate it.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Please,
evening.
there is a point under the steps of entrepreneurship under discovery to study the demographic. I didn't really get the point well since I had network perturbation, so I didn't really get the explanation well.
Yeah, I was talking of demography. Actually, here is about more of the natural environment. The demography here, we have the sex demography, where we talk about male and female. There are some businesses that when you identify in a particular place that we have a lot of males and a lot of males, for instance, then now you need to look at, in case we have a lot of males here, what is so particular about males? What can I introduce in that particular place since we have a lot of males that can attract them? Demography here can also be in terms of topography or weather, climate. For instance, as an entrepreneur, when it happens that the climate of a particular place is too cold, the first thing that you need to identify there is people will always be looking for maybe things to heat up, maybe pullovers, maybe houses that can on things like heating devices. That is due to the demography of the area. The climate is too cold, and now you start thinking of, there are some houses now in Cameroon that I see they construct with chimneys where you can even burn fire inside. So, and I've discovered that there are some modern entrepreneurs in Cameroon or in Bamenda in particular who have a particular price that they tack you of building a modern chimney in your house where you can use in cooking, you can use in heating. So that is an entrepreneurial venture that is coming as a result of demography. If, let's take for instance, ladies, they are fond of maybe their makeup. And if you discover that in a particular environment, you have more of ladies, you start thinking of what is that thing that ladies love so much? Is it makeup? You start thinking of setting up a makeup shop where these people can come and do their makeup instead of them struggling to do it in their house, in their homes, where they can make their hair. That is already demography. You have segmented the market and you have identified that there are a lot of females here who will always need makeup, who will always need to do their hair, and you are struggling to provide solution in that particular area. In terms of topography, you discover that in a particular place is too hilly. And now maybe the pushing of truck up and down is difficult. You introduce maybe something like a tricycle that will be pulled by an engine that will not be too stressful to transport things up and down in that particular locality. That is already identifying an opportunity due to demography in that particular area. That's why when you go to areas like in Cameroon, if you go to areas like Indop, you will find a lot of bicycles. Do you know why? The topography is too flat and it's very easy to pull a bicycle there. And when you go to places which are too hilly, you discover that people are instead running away from bicycles. So if you go to a hilly area and you are buying bicycles, you know that nobody will buy. So as an entrepreneur, you need to understand the demography of a particular area before you are introducing a particular business idea in that particular locality. I hope your question is answered.
It is answered, so 100% answered. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other question, please? Any other question, please?
Stay quiet.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Yeah,
Yes, I'm getting
I wish
you.
to just make a remark. A remark, because if we're having two classes on the same day and nearly almost at the same time, another one will be rushed upon, and then many ideas may not be heard. I would just please suggest, if the entrepreneur class can be more earlier and we take enough time to digest things, and then the human resource class also come later, it will be much better, or different days. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we have taken note of that. We were struggling with this one just to meet up with the program for the week, but as the week is coming, when we are coming with a new calendar for the new week, we are going to see how to adjust it. This came also because of the request of some students so that we can run WhatsApp group classes. So due to WhatsApp group classes, we had to now obstruct our program, since this was still to take the same time that we had previewed. The same class taking now, or the same program taking two classes, that's the live class and the WhatsApp class. So it is called that you are teaching the same thing twice. So it had to obstruct the program. But I think when we are drawing our next program, we are going to make provision for WhatsApp separately, make provision for live classes, and then we'll flow from there. It's just a challenge that just came up, and due to contingency, we just had to adapt to see how we can manage for the meantime, but it will be adjusted over time. Thank you very much for that remark.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Please, I wish to ask how you can identify potential investors, because when you there are some people that may come towards you, or that you may approach, thinking that maybe they are fit to invest in whatsoever idea that you have, but in the short run, not even in the long run, you discover that your guess was not really okay. So how can we identify our potential investors?
Yeah. One thing is with investment is, first of all, when you have a good business plan, then now that business plan, you do a market research. When you do a market research, you understand how much revenue, with the necessary effort that you understand, how much revenue can that particular business generate on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and on a monthly basis first. With that, you have your estimated revenue, maybe in a day, in a week, in a month. With this revenue, you as an entrepreneur, as an individual, you make an evaluation and see, in case I'm going in for a bank loan, what are the advantages that I have on bank loan over maybe my family helping me out? What is the then now at this particular stage now, when you calculate the interest you're going to incur running a bank loan and the advantage you will have if you have maybe a family member who gives you this money, maybe for free, then you can go. Secondly, you make business proposals. You move up to potential. You identify those people that you think there are some people in a community, they love everything about football. And if you make them that you have a business project that is going to encourage football, they will love to put their money in it. And you need to convince them that in case they are putting their 1,000, they are going to make maybe 10 francs at the end of the month, or they will make 2 francs at the end of the month. Out of your analysis, then you can approach them. Secondly, there are some people, they just want to be part of that big name. They just want to, when you present a business idea to them, you just say, this business idea for you to own one share is 100,000, and this is what you benefit from this business over 10 years, over 20 years, over 100 years. A lot of persons, they will be very, very interested. Also, we have funding partners. We have, like in Cameroon, we have FIDA, that's Fund de Développement, that's Fund for Agricultural Development. So now you discover that with these people, there are people who are interested in funding projects in the agricultural sector. And in case you have any business development in the agricultural value chain, you can approach these people with your business plan and they will happily finance you. So in every sector, we have particular people who are interested. Secondly, in a business like an online business that you are selling, I know of suppliers who are there, they just want somebody they can trust. Companies that are producing, they want somebody that they can trust. They want somebody who has a good business idea, and they will supply these things to them, the raw materials to them free of charge. And when you sell, you pay back their money. For example, I know of farine companies that can come to you and supply you farine for free. Immediately you produce bread, gâteau, maybe at the end of every working day, you go and deposit in their accounts any amount that you have sold. So that is how you identify in your business, you know, what do you really need and who can easily supply this thing. Under what conditions can these people supply? And before you know it, when you identify them, you approach them, they will happily do it for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. The question has been answered. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other question, please? Okay. If there is no question now, I think we shall end here for now. This class will still be repeated in our WhatsApp forum so that those who could not meet or catch up will catch up so that we can move on the same length. So our next class is coming up where we shall be talking detailedly on starting your business now, where we are going to walk step by step and understand the practical part of starting your business in the practice or in a real world situation. So thank you and wish you the best. Good night. And I encourage you guys to join maybe the digital marketing class, which will be starting now from 8. Thank you very much.